The champagne flute shattered in my hand, the glass slicing my palm as Mom's words echoed through the crowded banquet hall. "She's a daughter I'm proud of," she said, her arm draped around my sister, Lila, whose birthday tiara glinted under the chandeliers. The room spun, laughter, clinking glasses, the low hum of jazz from the live band blurring into a dull roar. I stood frozen, blood dripping onto the pristine white tablecloth, the $1,980 catering bill clutched in my other hand, unpaid, as Mom's eyes avoided mine. I'd spent weeks planning Lila's 30th birthday, a glittering affair at the upscale venue she begged for. I'd maxed out my credit card, skipped rent, and begged the caterer for a payment plan. Mom promised to cover half, her voice warm and certain over the phone. "You're such a good sister, Elise," she'd said. "I'll handle it." But now, as Lila basked in Mom's praise, the bill felt like a blade pressed in my throat, a betrayal sharper than the glass in my skin. The signs had been there, hadn't they? Mom's distracted tone when I called about the budget, her quick subject changes when I mentioned money. I brushed it off, chalking it up to her stress, her grief over Dad's death 2 years ago. Lila, radiant in her sequin dress, had always been the golden child, her law degree frame on Mom's mantle, her engagement to a surgeon announced with fanfare. I was the artist, the dreamer, the one who needed to get serious, as Mom often said. But this was different. This was a lie, deliberate and cold, and it burned in my chest like acid. I slipped into the venue's dimly lit hallway, the chatter fading behind me. My hands trembled as I pressed a napkin to the cut, the sting grounding me. I replayed Mom's words, her casual dismissal of my sacrifice. Had she ever intended to pay? Or was this another way to lift Lila up by pushing me down? My phone buzzed in my pocket, a text from Lila. "Thanks for the party, sis. You're the best." The words mocked me. Did she know? Was she complicit, or just oblivious, basking in her spotlight? The hallway smelled of polished wood and faint lavender, the air cool against my flushed skin. I leaned against the wall, doubt gnawing at me. Maybe I'd misunderstood. Maybe Mom had just forgotten. But the bill's weight in my hand, the zeros staring up at me, screamed otherwise. I thought of the late nights I'd spent sketching invitations, the hours negotiating with vendors, all for Lila's perfect night, for Mom's approval. My heart ached, a mix of love and rage, love for the family I'd fought to hold together, rage at their careless betrayal. Back in the ballroom, I watched Mom and Lila pose for photos, their smiles identical, practice. I approached, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "Mom, about the bill," I said, holding it out. Her eyes flicked to it, then away, her smile tightening. "Oh, Elise, we'll sort it later. Don't ruin Lila's night." Lila's fiancé, Mark, overheard, his brow furrowing. "What bill?" he asked. I hesitated, the truth teetering on my tongue. If I spoke, I'd shatter the facade, Lila's perfect birthday, Mom's perfect daughter. If I stayed silent, I'd swallow the betrayal whole. Elise paid for everything. I blurted, my voice louder than I intended. Heads turned. Lila's smile faltered. Mom was supposed to cover half, but she didn't. The room stilled, the band's music suddenly too loud. Mom's face flushed, her eyes darting to Lila, then back to me. "Elise, that's not fair," she stammered. "You know I've been struggling." "Struggling?" I snapped, the cut on my hand throbbing. "You had enough to buy Lila that designer purse last week." Gasps rippled through the guests. Lila's eyes widened, her tiara tilting slightly. "Elise, why are you doing this?" she whispered, but her voice cracked, betraying a flicker of guilt. Did she know? Had they planned this together, banking on my silence? Mark stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "How much is the bill?" I handed it to him, my hand shaking. He scanned it, then pulled out his checkbook. "I'll cover it," he said, his eyes on Lila, not me. "But you two need to figure this out." The gesture should have felt like relief, but it didn't. It felt like pity, another reminder that I was the outsider in my own family. As the party resumed, Mom pulled me aside, her voice low. "You embarrass me," she hissed, "after everything I've done for you." I stared at her, The woman who'd once bandaged my scraped knees, now a stranger wielding guilt like a weapon. You lied to me, I said, my voice breaking. You let me carry this alone. Her silence was my answer, heavier than the bill ever was. I left the venue, the night air biting my skin, the city's hum swallowing my footsteps. Behind me, the party continued, laughter spilling out like nothing had happened. But something had broken, trust, fragile and irreparable. I loved them still, Mom and Lila, but the love was tainted now, laced with a truth I couldn't unsee. They'd chosen each other, left me to pay the price. And as I walked into the dock, blood still seeping from my palm, I realized the real cost wasn't the $1,980. It was a part of me I'd given them, now lost forever.